The USDA recently released its June 30th crop report. To learn more about what that report means to Louisiana, we're now joined by This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's Neil Melancon with this week's in-studio guest. Neil?
Thanks, Mike. And of course, June saw the release of a new USDA report and some new crop statistics. Joining us to talk about that is, of course, Nathan Crisp with the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service. Nathan, we saw some surprises in this report, didn't we?
Yes, our acres was actually a little bit lower than the industry expected, and the market reacted accordingly to the less planted corn and soybean acres than the industry had expected to come out in the report.
Yeah, it was quite a surprise, I think, for traders as well. It didn't really reflect, though, Louisiana's statistics. Tell us a little bit about what the state saw, because I know we always kind of vary from the national trend.
Well, our acres was actually up on most of our crops, and rice was up almost 100,000 acres. Corn was over 1 million acres, and soybean was over 1 million acres, and corn was right at 500,000 acres. So our acres actually was coming up a little bit from last year. The prices, of course, went up on the day of the report quite significantly on grains.
And of course, one of the things we're all looking forward to right now is the August report coming up. Can you give us a preview of what we're going to see? Do you think we'll see an adjustment back downwards again, or where are we going to go with this?
Well, it's hard to say. We're going to interview the farmers again over the U.S. and in Louisiana. We're going to start interviewing here next week, and for about 10 days, we're going to be calling the producers, seeing what they actually have done on their crops. And we'll be clearing up any intention that might have been from the June survey, and that's all over the U.S. We have very few acres that were not planted in Louisiana, so we think our acres probably going to hold true, but that may not be the case for the whole U.S. Then we will ask about yields, what the farmer think their yields are going to be for this year for corn, soybeans, rice, and cotton, and sugarcane. And also our enumerator is going to start working on our cotton objective yield survey, where we actually go out and we count plants in the field and fruit that's on the cotton plant.
Now, you talk about that with cotton, counting the actual plants, and that's kind of the problem with these reports is that, of course, we have, they're kind of speculative and they don't really reflect the final yields. Of course, we don't get that till December or even later sometimes, but why are these reports so important as far as that goes?
Well, it stabilizes the market. Of course, the market reacted in an upward motion in June on the June report. What it's going to kind of like give us a first look at supply. We did the acres. That gives you a glimpse as to what supply will be this fall. But now when the farmers actually give us what they think their yields are going to be, when they start harvesting that crop, they give us another look at what supply will be in the fall. And that right there, again, the market will either stabilize, become steady, or it'll react. And it's going to react to demand for that crop.
And of course, that stabilization is very important, as we saw a couple years ago where the markets were wild, hedges were wild, it was just kind of crazy. But, speaking of that, we're not as high as we were in 2008 and 2009, but we're still pretty high, aren't we?
We're still pretty high. We have $10 on soybeans and right around about $4.80 for corn. Rice, we right at $10, $12 a hundredweight. I know the rice producers would like to see the rice go up a little bit more, but we'll see what the report holds in August. We might have some movement in all the crops. It just depends on what the supply is going to be like in the fall and what the needs are.
All right. Thank you very much. Nathan Crisp, he is with the USDA, the National Agricultural Statistics Service. Coming up in a little bit, my bottom line, we'll talk about moving from the markets to the grocery store and what prices have done at your local food shop versus where they were last quarter. Stay tuned.